Hello friends, in today's module we are going to study about science education with respect to its evolving nature and perspectives. Let's go ahead. What is science? Science comes from a Latin word scientia, which means knowledge. It is essentially a systematic enterprise that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe. The history of science dates back to 3500 to 3000 BCE from ancient Egypt to Mesopotamia. The contributions of Greeks to mathematics, astronomy, and medicine entered and shaped Greek natural philosophy of classical antiquity, whereby formal attempts were made to explain events of the physical world based on the natural causes. When we talk about modern science is typically divided into three major branches that consist of the natural sciences, examples of which are biology, chemistry, and physics, which study nature in the broadest sense. The social sciences, example, economics, psychology, and sociology, which are involved in studying individuals and societies. And the formal sciences, example, logic, mathematics, and theoretical computer science, they innately are involved in studying the abstract concepts which otherwise are very difficult to be understood. Let's know about what is science education involved. Science education is the field concerned with sharing science content and process with individuals which are traditionally not considered part of the scientific community. The learners may be children, college students, or adults within the general public. The field of science education includes work in science content, science process, that is the scientific method, some social science, and some who are involved in teaching pedagogy. The standards for science education provide expectations for the development of understanding for students through the entire course, right from their kindergarten to their 12th grade education and also beyond the same. The traditional subjects involved in the standards are physical, life, earth, space, and human sciences. Science education is a lifelong process which involves a holistic involvement of all the facets of the society, and that's why physical, life, earth, space, and human science. Let's see evolution and nature of science. Science is a dynamic field which continues to grow, expand, and is continuously evolving. Science helps us to answer different questions which are embedded in our minds. These are often answered and backed by reasoning, facts, observations, and interpretations. This expanding and evolving nature helps to gain more information, knowledge, and also explore new arenas. Let us talk about how science has evolved and reached what it is today, and also how it helps in predicting future for the benefit of human race. When we talk about evolution of science, there is one word which comes to our mind, and that is called as heliocentrism. What is heliocentrism? During the ancient time, people used to think that Earth is in the center and the sun, moon, and stars orbit Earth. This geocentrism model was favored by the churches of that time. But as time passed, people started believing heliocentrism. Heliocentrism is based on scientific evidence of sun being at the center. This was due to the efforts of the scientists who were working during that period. This information got updated and was carried forward, and this has been our cornerstone for our thirst for knowledge. Let's see more about evolution of science. The classic Big Bang theory to the existence of new planets, and recently photo of the black hole. Large room-sized computers to handheld devices. Advancement in field of communication and entertainment, that is from radio to television, basic internet to 5G and IoT, Internet of Things, as well as advancement in the field of medicine and healthcare. Prediction of weather for better agriculture, fishery, also prediction of future climatic conditions with reference to global warming, virtual reality, augmented reality, and the latest artificial intelligence. This is where science has reached today. When we talk about nature of science, science helps in transforming society. Science also requires careful description. Science comes into form of explanation. Science is also cumulative knowledge, and science also comprises of various scientific methods. Diverse nature of science. The scientific method is an empirical method of acquiring knowledge that has characterized the development of science. It does not take place in a not sequential manner. It involves characterizations, that is, observations, definitions, and measurements of the subject of inquiry, formation of hypothesis, theoretical, hypothetical explanations of observations and measurements of the subject. It is also based on predictions, that is, inductive and deductive reasoning from the hypothesis or theory. And to test all of the above, it is involving a lot of experimentation. So, innately, the scientific method starts with a question, and then there's a lot of background research involved, formation of hypothesis, testing with the experiment, analysis of data, and then reporting of the results. Science requires careful description. The current understanding of the history of life over vast eons of time are due to various scientific methods. They begin with careful descriptions of the material being studied. Let us take an example of biological evolution. Here, the material for study would be life. We can see that similar kind of individuals are grouped together. These species which are grouped together are closely related to each other. This led to scientific classification. It also leads to classifying and arrangement of these objects according to their similarities. They can be animals, plants, or can be of any scientific entity. This classification began with Systema Naturae or System of Nature in 1758, which was given by a Swedish naturalist Carolus Linnaeus. For this, we can take example of cat family. Animals like cats, tigers, lion, cheetahs, leopards, etc. have got a lot of similarity, and therefore they belong to cat family. Whereas dogs, wolf, fox and coyotes all come under family of dogs. Many new species have been discovered and been described by the scientists. These have been carefully arranged, classified, and clearly made description about why they have been arranged and have been classified in this particular pattern. With respect to nature of science as explanation, we can say that with the purpose of understanding and exploring the concept of a particular thing, a scientist or the discoverer forms theory which is based on observation, different experimental setup, interpretations, reasoning, which produce an elaborate written description. These written descriptions form the keystone for the explanation to the world. These are published in research journals, books, or are also made available in any other print format, and thus it is made available to the world for further improvement, addition to the existing research, and to keep it going on continuously. Examples: structure of DNA, which is an explanation of the model, amplification of DNA by PCR, explanation of a process, and Pythagoras theorem, application to different situations. Science as cumulative knowledge. Science is a cumulative process. The knowledge of science cannot be isolated. It is contributed by many fields of science with many scientists working worldwide. This cumulative knowledge is updated all the time, which results in the improvement of the processes as well as products. For example, growing plant at International Space Station, which involves cumulative knowledge of botany, physics, as well as chemistry. Nature of science with its role in transforming society. Scientifically obtained knowledge has value and can be practically used to transform the society. For example, invention of car has transformed the society vastly by creating easy mode of transportation, easy jobs which are associated with manufacturing and other industries related to cars. When we talk about invention of radio, it was a revolutionary step in the development of society. Radio has also helped many countries for their independence. Radio and other discoveries in the related field has changed the way we communicated with our loved ones, that is, use of mobile phones. In this module, we learnt about science education with respect to its evolving nature and perspectives. In the next module, we will be learning about aims and objectives of science.